police were forced to fire tear gas and water cannons to disperse a number of people protesting central bank plans to reintroduce local banknotes. Now, the protesters set out to march through the streets of the capital, Harare, towards the central bank, but they were stopped. Zimbabweans, of course, fear the central bank's plan to introduce banknotes or bond notes. They feel this could open the door to rampant money printing. Now, this was the case in 2008 when inflation hit 500 billion%, wiping out people's savings and pensions in the country. And protesters sang songs denouncing the president and the finance minister, as well as the central bank governor, who have backed the measure. There was no immediate comment from the central bank or the finance ministry. Well, Farai Mwakutuya now joins us in Harare with an update on the situation. Farai, as always, welcome to the show. Now, we understand the protests against unemployment, but definitely educate us about this bond issue. Why are Zimbabweans very much against this new launch of these bond notes?
Well, Uche, as you mentioned a bit earlier, many people here have very bad memories of 2008 when that rapid inflation that you talked about was experienced, and that was during a time when the Zimbabwe dollar was the unit of exchange. Many people are fearful that this bond note, which can only be used in Zimbabwe, is only accepted as legal tender in Zimbabwe, could be a return of a local currency, but under a different name. And they're fearful that that may lead and that may fuel that runaway inflation and the hardships that came with it back in 2008.
Now, Farai, of course, Zimbabwe, it has been a multi-currency country for a while now. It has about 9 currencies in legal tender. Now, how will the introduction of these bond notes change doing business in Zimbabwe and suddenly change the lives, the daily lives of the people of Zimbabwe?
Well, the central bank says that it will primarily be an export incentive. So each time an exporter exports gold or tobacco, for instance, they'll get a 5% additional amount on top of whatever they are bringing into the country, and that will be paid to them in bond notes. The central bank also says that this will help ease cash shortages. Currently, people are having to queue up many hours to get cash out of the bank, but now with these bond notes, they can use that as an alternative to US dollars, and bond notes will also make it more difficult for people to externalize hard currency from the system, which is what we've been facing and what we're currently experiencing. So essentially, the central bank says it's a good thing and people should welcome it. Clearly, people aren't happy about that.